Valley today, we're following breaking news overnight as the North Dakota Highway Patrol is looking into a rollover crash on I-29 in Fargo.
And protests and riots continue across the country for the second night over the election of Donald Trump as president. We'll let you know how he is reacting this morning.
And I'll let you know what kind of weather you can expect on this Veterans Day as you attend events and ceremonies throughout the valley.
Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is the Valley Today on Fargo CW.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for waking up with us. It's now just after 7 a.m. here on the Fargo CW. I'm Lisa Bedeau here with Kyle Bosch. We start with breaking news for you this morning. The North Dakota Highway Patrol is investigating an early morning crash in Fargo. It happened around 1:30 at the I-29 and I-94 interchange. A pickup went off the road and rolled.
Now, scanner traffic indicated that the driver had to be helped out of the vehicle, but was able to make the call to report the crash. We were able to speak with the state trooper just a few minutes ago, who says that they are still working to figure out exactly what happened and all of the details involved. Of course, we will bring you updates throughout the day right here on Valley News Live.
Let's get our first check of our weather now here on this finally Friday, also Veterans Day. So a lot of activities going on, no school for the kids. People are going to be out and about.
Yeah, and they'll want to wear an extra layer, put on a heavier coat this morning. Temperatures, especially up north, are pretty chilly. So be ready for a cooler day and a cool day out at those ceremonies. Here's a look at our temperatures for today. We'll see highs in the 40s, which is right around average for this time of year. So this is not really that cold, but it's all relative. So we've been in the 60s, even some 70s this week, into the 40s. It's going to feel a lot cooler to you than we have been in recent days. So just be ready for that. The wind will be on the light side and we'll get some sunshine too. So those are both some really nice pluses for this Friday. Temperature right now, very cold up north. We're at 18 degrees in Langdon, 22 in Grand Forks. It's 27 in Fargo, and down in the south, still at a 30-degree rating in Gwinner, stretching over toward Fergus Falls and Detroit Lakes. And we'll watch as temperatures rise as the sun rises as well. There are some places that are stuck with some dense fog. That's up by the Devil's Lake Basin here. We've got a quarter-mile of visibility being reported in Langdon and Candu and over toward Carrington. Devil's Lake itself, about 3/4 of a mile. In Cooperstown, we're coming down now to 1.5 miles. So that area, and then west from there into central parts of North Dakota, also dealing with some fog. If you're traveling in that direction this morning, be aware of that. Wind is light, calm conditions up north, some wind speeds that are variable in less than about 5 miles per hour in the southern valley. So very light wind. We've got quiet weather, no rain or snow to show you on our radar. And as we step you through our forecast for today, expect those temperatures to rise. By the afternoon, we'll be back into the mid-40s up north. In the southern valley, some mid to upper 40s. The wind kicks in a bit from the south. This is 3 o'clock where we see those wind speeds up to about 10 miles per hour. And that wind will continue to increase throughout the evening hours tonight. And that will hopefully help our temperatures from dropping too much. We'll be in the 30s by 7. So if you have Friday night plans, it will be cool out there. And later on tonight, holding steady likely in a lot of spots in those low to mid 30s. Here's a look at your 7-day planner. Today, slightly cooler, still nice. For Saturday, we are looking at some 50s, 56 degrees for your high, warming up just in time for you tailgaters. And hunters, this is a little cooler than last weekend too, some improvement there. And then Sunday, 62, we will have sunshine throughout the weekend, a few passing clouds. Next week, things start to change a little bit. Tuesday, we see a quick little system swing through that may bring us a little rain. And then Thursday, we see that next big system approach that we've been talking about, chances for rain, and then perhaps eventually some snow. So don't freak out yet. It's not here just yet. Maybe some people are happy about that potential, but we'll let you know as it gets closer what you can expect time-wise and where.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm trying to cut you off so you don't say that S word again. Okay, thank you.
The heart of the American democracy, the peaceful transfer of power, is underway in Washington, D.C. President-elect Donald Trump's transition to the White House officially began yesterday when he traveled to the nation's capital for a 90-minute discussion with President Obama in the Oval Office. That talk focused on domestic and foreign policy.
The president-elect also met with Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell and House Speaker Paul Ryan. Trump is pledging to hit the ground running come January.
Well, developing for you this morning, anti-Trump protests are not letting up across the nation, including more than 3,600 people who protested outside the Humphrey Institute at the University of Minnesota last night.
Yeah, a group also blocked traffic on I-94. Within minutes, both directions were closed. Police were able to clear the scene and reopen I-94 within about an hour. No injuries or arrests were reported.
Now, demonstrators also took to the streets in places like New York and Chicago, disrupting traffic and chanting. And in one of his first tweets as president-elect last night, Trump initially blamed professional protesters and the media for inciting those demonstrations. This morning, however, he appears to have changed his tune a bit, tweeting that he, quote, "loved the fact that small groups of protesters last night have a passion for our great country. We will all come together and be proud."
Many Americans are preparing for a Republican president and Congress to make sweeping changes. That includes the refugee resettlement program. Trump and members of Congress have said they would stop it, or at the very least, slow it down.
Now, officials at Lutheran Social Services, the organization that runs the program in North Dakota, they say they are expecting some changes, but right now they're really just kind of waiting to see exactly what might happen. Top state legislators have already said that they would support ending that program in North Dakota. Well, we're also following up for you this morning on a story we first told you about yesterday. A group of Minnesota students is planning to host a walkout of school this afternoon in response to a racist act of vandalism at Maple Grove High School.
The messages of whites only, white America, and Trump were found Wednesday in a boys' bathroom at the school. The photos quickly circulated across social media, causing outrage. But yesterday morning, students wrote messages of support and love to be posted around the school.
Now, school officials say that they are horrified about what happened and are working to find out who did it. The Maple Grove Police Department will be assisting in that investigation.
A Moorhead middle schooler says bullying surrounding President-elect Donald Trump is a major problem in area schools. We're told students are chanting, "Build a wall," during lunch or on the bus. And some are saying to others that they are going to be deported.
Now, following the election, Moorhead Superintendent of Schools sent out an email to teachers saying that some children are afraid of war, losing their friends, or other people's opinions.
Well, I mean, I'm Hispanic, so like people have been like saying I'm gonna get deported and stuff like that. Everyone's joking, but I mean, it's still offensive.
The West Fargo Public Schools tell us that they have also talked to their staff about these issues. Fargo Public Schools said they haven't had any issues reported so far. Well, developing for you this morning, a Minnesota man and his girlfriend are now being charged in the death of the woman's 2-year-old son. Nelson Soto Lopez of Blaine is facing a charge of second-degree murder. His girlfriend and the mother of the toddler, Haydai Aguilera Bustillo, is charged with second-degree manslaughter in the case. Investigators say Soto Lopez allegedly hit the child with a belt, then dropped the child on his head Monday night. An autopsy revealed that the child had multiple skull fractures and bleeding on the brain.
We're following new developments in a peeping case in Bismarck. A deputy U.S. Marshal charged for taking images on his phone of a woman in a Target dressing room is now facing an additional charge from another incident at that store. Bismarck police say they were able to identify another victim from images obtained from a search warrant. 29-year-old Michael Rivera is being held on $150,000 cash bond and is expected to be in court early next year. The Fargo Police Department is looking for 2 people suspected of breaking into a vehicle and stealing credit cards. They've released these surveillance pictures in hopes that someone will recognize them. If you know these people, you're asked to contact the Fargo Police Investigations Division, 241-1405.
In our schemes and ripoffs for you this Friday morning, a Fargo business owner is warning others after scammers tried to get her credit card information. The owner at A&D says that she took a call from a man who was claiming to be an Xcel Energy technician coming to disconnect her service because she was behind on her bill. But she says she knew something was up because she set up for auto pay. That's when she was transferred to another person who said that they needed her credit card information again. Now, Xcel says if you ever have any doubts about a caller claiming to be from them, you should hang up the phone and contact them yourself. Friday morning means it's time to get a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted, and Fargo police are asking you to keep an eye out for this man, 34-year-old Eugene Quinnett, who's wanted for a probation violation on felony drug charges.
His picture's on your TV screen right now. Call your local law enforcement if you have any information on where he is. If you're looking to get a flu shot, 2 walk-in clinics will be held at Fargo Cass Public Health next week. One of them will be on Wednesday, starting at 8 a.m. till 3 p.m. The other is slated for Friday from 8 a.m. to noon. The
flu shot clinics are open to all area residents. Just make sure to bring your insurance card. The Fargo Cass Public Health Building is located at 1240 25th Street South. Well, as we mentioned, it is Veterans Day today, and there are a number of events happening around the area. This morning in Fargo, there will be a ceremony on the plaza of the Veterans Memorial Bridge at 9 a.m. That's followed by a parade through downtown starting at 10:30.
The parade ends up at the Fargo Civic Center for a flag ceremony at 11, followed by a program inside the Civic. Careful with that Wi-Fi. Cheaters are using all sorts of ways to rip you off. We have a refresher course in keeping internet safe out in public. That's straight ahead.